What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about the New York Knicks. And a lot of people, people are pointing fingers at different players on the team. They're pointing fingers at the coach. And I think most of the blame when it comes to the inconsistency of how the New York Knicks play, I think most of the blame should fall with the players and not necessarily so much with Mike Brown. This is Mike Brown first year with the Knicks. I think most of these guys that are with the Knicks now have been they've been together for around 3 years or so, right? And and I said before the season started that this team, the Knicks, should have been like more on a mission, like what you see with the Boston Celtics. When after Boston won that championship, they came back and it seemed like they were just as focused or even more focused than they were the year before. Same thing with what's the other team that won a championship? OKC. When they won a championship, they got off to a really good start this season, and it seemed like they were even more focused. Now those two teams won, right? Now, but if you lose, it seemed like you would have more focus because you realize how close you are to having a team and being able to get over that hump. But I didn't see that this year with the Knicks. Carl Anthony Towns is, in my opinion, he turned out to be a disappointment because he just plays down to the level of competition. And then some nights he don't even show up at all. So you, as a coach or as a teammate, you don't even know what you're going to get from Carl Anthony Towns. So that, and he's part of the big reason why I'm not really trying to blame Mike Brown for the inconsistency of this team. I think all the players could be doing a lot better. The players could be doing a lot better. And as a professional, and as grown men, you don't really need somebody to tell you that. That shouldn't be his job. His job should be more so putting a plan together and having these guys execute it and keeping these guys focused. But when he can't even get guys to play hard on a consistent level, then that's deeper than just coaching. So let me see. ESPN was talking about this. And Stephen A. Smith has some things to say about the Knicks. Stephen A. is a Knicks fan, so I'm going to play the audio, and then I'm going to come back and give some more of my reaction.
Warriors were depleted. The Knicks found a way to bounce back as Shams and Wendy join us here again. But Stephen A., how did you feel waking up this morning? A win is a win, but it wasn't pretty how you got there.
I'm sick, and it's not just because of the dental procedure that I had Friday that I'm still recovering from, with my throat feeling like I'm swallowing knives, for crying out loud. It's because I'm sick with my New York Knicks. Shams, Wendy, I know Wendy's going to have to talk me off the ledge. He's going to try. Wendy, I'm letting you know right now, I love you. You're my brother from another mother. It's not going to work. Shams, I love you too. Proud to call you a colleague. It's not going to work. I'm depressed, and I'm not going to get over it anytime soon. The Knicks ain't winning a damn thing. Let me tell you something right now. Mikal Bridges, this 6-game stretch, 39 total points, averaging 6.5 points per game, 5 of 24 from three-point range, 16 of 50 from the field, can't buy a basket. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I want to remind everybody right now, we can say what we want. And guess what? And this is going to shock everybody. This is where I break news. The person I'm blaming most for all of this is Jalen Brunson.
All right, so before he Bridges, right? And you know what? And this one thing I don't understand about today's NBA, like these guys will continue to jack up threes until they get hot. Whereas though, when we were playing, when I was young and I was playing basketball, if your jumper was off, then that means that you try to get closer to the basket. It's just common sense. So I don't get why he continued to shoot these shots and he not making them. Then on top of that, because you got to get your confidence back, and after a while, it just becomes so hard to get your confidence back. So I just wanted to add that in before he made some points about Brunson.
The only thing that I can blame Jalen Brunson for, who I'm so proud to have as a New York Knick, but this is all his fault. All of it. And I'm going to tell you why. Mikal Bridges, to get him to remind everybody of Shams' job, because this is the man who broke the damn story. They gave up Bogdanovich 4 unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick in 2025, a first-round swap, and a second-round pick in 2026 for Mikal Bridges. Why did they do that? They did that because instead of waiting a year and signing a 5-year, $270 million max extension, Jalen Brunson signed a 4-year, $156 million extension the year before, giving the New York Knicks a $113 million discount, around that range, okay? So what do the New York Knicks do? Obviously, he saves them that kind of money. He did it so they could go get his boy, which I have no problem with. Mikal Bridges is not a scrub. He can play. He's reliable. He's out there every night. He never cheats you. He works hard, but he ain't an all-star. And so when you can't let your organization give up that much to get a dude that's going to ultimately handicap you from building a roster that can compete for a championship. Not to say that the Knicks can't compete for a championship, but you know what I'm saying. They are in a hole. And Mikal Bridges don't look like he's capable of getting out of him. And here's what Mikal Bridges has to understand that makes him look bad.
All right, first let me say, I don't get Stephen A. Smith logic, right? Brunson give the team, if that's true, he gives the team a discount so they can go out and get Bridges. Number one, I still blame the team because if he giving them a discount, then that means that the team may have even asked for it, which is on the team. Number two, if Bridges say, all right, I'll give y'all some money back if y'all bring my guy here, that's still their fault because they went for it. So you can't blame Brunson because the team should be moving in a way they're doing what's best for the team. So you can't blame the team. And that's why I think, like, in this day and age of player empowerment, like, teams don't have to accept responsibility. All they can do is place the blame with these players and say, well, he wanted them, back in the day, like, for the most part, these players they played and they allowed the general managers and the coaches to do their jobs, for the most part. But nowadays, man, they every time you make a trade or you want to bring somebody in, that's got to be your friend. And that's not how basketball works. You got to bring guys in there who going to be able to help the team out. So I don't blame Brunson. I disagree with Stephen A. Smith.
You were the one seen complaining and heard complaining about Tom Thibodeau. Working cats too hard, running them into the ground, needing a break, all of this other stuff. Well, he ain't there now. It's Mike Brown. And you look worse. Now, that wasn't the whole season because you had a good December. But you look worse with him right now than you ever looked with Tom Thibodeau. So I'm looking at the New York Knicks, and I'm like, how this team going to beat Boston? How this team going to beat Cleveland? They damn sure ain't going to beat Detroit. Not looking like this. That was a G League team they went against last night in Golden State. There was no Steph Curry. There was no Seth Curry. No Draymond. You almost lost to them. You got to be kidding me. I'm not excited about what I'm seeing. I'm disgusted. And I'm not happy about it at all. The Knicks are going to compete. I get it. And they're a good team. I get it. But I had championship appearance aspirations. I didn't have them winning the championship. But I had this team because of the ACL tear or the Achilles tear of Tatum, of Damian Lillard, of Tyrese Halliburton, their nemesis over the last 2 years. I had the New York Knicks going to the finals. I damn sure don't have that now. And it's because of what will go down as an absolutely horrific trade if Mikal Bridges continues to look the way that he's looking. This is unacceptable stuff, plain and simple.
Wendy?
And I just feel like that even when the New York Knicks was making their playoff run, I just kind of felt like that was their opportunity to I felt like they kind of was playing over their head, and that was their opportunity to get to go as deep as they can. But once because I never really had any confidence in this Karl Anthony Towns that he was going to be able to every year just level his game up, get better. I never really, because I didn't see that with him with any other teams that he played with, right? So why would he do that with the Knicks? Number two, Brunson is not, if he's your number one, and I don't know how tall Brunson is, he might be 6'1", if that, right? The further you go, the deeper you go into the playoffs, the harder it is for a guy like him to score, especially when they put somebody big and athletic on him. And he works so hard to get off a shot. I just didn't really see them getting better like that, or being able to over the long haul. Like, this wasn't sustainable to me because of the pieces that they had on their team. Then you got Detroit getting better. Boston is still Boston. Cleveland, I think is I think they got a little bit better with Harden, but Cleveland is still, a threat. So I just didn't see this with the only way the Knicks could have been able to come out of the East, and even with all those injuries that you had with Boston, the injuries with Indiana, they still had to really raise their level of play on the court. They just, to me, is just too much inconsistency across that lineup. And I just think at times they play above themselves. And now you're seeing like who the Knicks really are. And so that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you out in the next video. Peace.